Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yep. We hear you loud and clear. We are now joined by Alex Bowman, driver of that number 88 ChevyGoods.com, Truck Hero Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And Alex, we're going to roll straight into questions this morning. And our first question is going to come from Claire B. Lang. Go ahead with your question, Claire.
Thank you. Alex, what is the art? Alex, hold on. This is not starting. Okay. Got it. All right. So, Alex, what is the art of racing at Martinsville and passing there? Like, what's the challenge of Martinsville?
I think it really just comes down to a lot of patience. Martinsville is a place where it's easy to burn your stuff up early. It's easy to get really frustrated early and take yourself out, get a lot of damage. It's probably the only place where if you don't have a right front fender on it, you're going to go faster because you're going to keep the tire cooler, but it's a little hard to accomplish that without tearing anything else up. So it's just really all about patience and knowing when to go, when to save, how to race guys throughout the race. It's such a long race. 500 laps around there is a really long day, and you just got to be there at the end. But I'm excited to go. I feel like we were really strong there earlier this year and should be good when we get back there.
Given how much is on the line, how's your patience level? You're not really a hothead, right? What does Martinsville do to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we're 10/10ths every weekend. So there's not really like you can turn it up. And I don't necessarily think there's like a just be more aggressive and you're magically going to transfer through the playoffs scenario for us. If we're running second on the last lap and I can get to the leader, yeah, they're going to get moved, but you can't move 15 guys to get to the leader. You have to put yourself in that situation to begin with. So we'll be aggressive, when it counts and for the right reasons, but we're not going to be overly aggressive for no reason.
Good luck at Martinsville, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And Alex, my apologies, but you're running the Planters Peanuts car this weekend, so that's gonna be nuts. We're gonna go next.
I see what you did there.
We're gonna go next to Stephen Conley. Go ahead with your question, Stephen.
Alex, we've heard many years now that Martinsville is considered that one track where paybacks are possible. How hard is it to keep your patience in a race, knowing that there might be somebody that may have something against you? And do you keep a grudge for a long time and let that kind of simmer down the road?
I feel like all race car drivers keep grudges for a long time. I'm really excited to watch the truck race for that reason. But I think we really haven't had any run-ins with anybody this year for the most part. So it's probably good. I don't really know that I have anybody mad at me going into Martinsville, and I don't really know that I'm mad at anybody going into Martinsville. So I just focus on doing my thing and running my own race. But the guys that are frustrated with other people and do have people mad at them, Martinsville is obviously a place where it's just easier to have it show up because you're a little more aggravated in general, just because of how hard it is to pass and how easy it is to run somebody down and then kind of just get stuck there. So,
and kind of a follow-up to that, do you want to know if there's a couple guys that have had recent issues and they're racing side by side? Do you want to know that information that, hey, the things could get a little hot in front of you?
Yeah, I feel like my spotter does a pretty good job of doing that, even when, like, if somebody's had an issue earlier in the race or a couple races ago. He does a good job of just letting me know kind of what the situation is. And sometimes it escalates and sometimes it doesn't.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Our next question will come from Jason Brown. Go ahead with the question, Jason.
Thanks, Matt. Alex, good to see you. Jason Brown, Spectrum News 1 in Charlotte. Look, someone could just look at your short history at Martinsville and go, oh, this guy's could be in a tough spot, but you had a good finish at the first race there earlier this year. Your last 10 finishes, 8 of your last 10 finishes have been top 10 or better. So I imagine you're going into this race, even though you're below the cutoff line, still with a lot of confidence. Take me through, I guess, the mindset and how you're feeling going into this race.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we built a lot of confidence as a race team throughout the last 2 months or so. you know, whether we transfer to the round of 4 or not, I feel like we have a lot to be proud of over the last, 10 races or so. We really should be all top 10s through the playoffs so far. Just Bristol, we had a tire issue, and Talladega, we got caught up in a crash. So, I think how much we've overcome this year as a race team and how strong we've been here at the end of the year. We have a lot to be proud of, and we can continue to carry that momentum into next year, kind of regardless of if we make the final round or not. Obviously, we're going to do everything we can to try to make that final round. And, right now it kind of looks like that everything we can is going to mean a win. So hopefully we can go try to make that happen. But regardless, we want to finish the season strong and do the best we can. And I'm definitely proud of where we are as a race team right now.
So then quickly, do you sort of feel like you're playing with house money to a certain degree?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think our goal was to make the round of 8. And we made the round of 8, and then through the first 2 races, we have the best average finish of all the playoff guys through this round. So, I think we're probably overperforming for what a lot of people thought we were going to do, but I think we have a lot more left in us, and definitely I feel like we're playing with house money.
Our next question will come from Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead with your question, Jordan.
Hey, Alex, you're a little biased in probably answering this, but looking ahead to Phoenix a little bit, your thoughts on it hosting the championship finale and the improvements that it has done in terms of the infrastructure and everything.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that Phoenix is hosting that race. For me, I've been a fan there quite a bit, so I kind of feel like I know how that place is now and how it was before, and I think the improvements are really great. Moving the grandstands was a great decision because I got absolutely roasted in the grandstands where they were before, and obviously getting some more shade is great for all the race fans. Created a lot of excitement with the restart zone. But I think, you look at racetracks like Talladega gets this amazing reputation because of Talladega Boulevard and how the camping's so wild and the fans, and Phoenix is really underrated when it comes to that. The campgrounds at Phoenix are absolutely wild. They're huge. They go as far as you can see. And the fans there are incredible. So I think, it's a really deserving track of that final race. Puts on a great show. The racetrack itself is great. The fans are great. I think it has a lot of good aspects, and I feel like they about sell out that event all the time. So obviously, we have a really strong fan engagement there, and it makes a good fit for us.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Woody Kane. Go ahead with your question, Woody.
Hey, Alex, appreciate your time. Just wanted to ask what you think about having Kyle Larson as your new teammate and him being the oldest guy on the team. He said you guys have been talking a little dirt racing recently.
Yeah, I'm happy that there's somebody older than me still. I don't have to be the old guy on campus. So we've talked a lot, really just a lot about dirt racing lately. That's kind of all we've been talking about. And obviously I've been leaning on him quite a bit just with the wing sprint car that we just built, just kind of trying to understand more about wing racing and flow questions through him to his crew chief, Paul Silva. That's been a big help for me. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously one of the most talented drivers of our generation. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead with the question, Kelly.
Thank you, Alex. 2 things. First, I wanted to check, did you ever get your simulator time for Martinsville?
I did. I ended up in there yesterday. I just got a quick hour in there, but was definitely helpful and glad we got it worked out.
And then secondly, do you like this quick turnaround to Martinsville, or would you rather have been able to sit around, think about it some more, plan some more, or is it better to just get there and not think about it too much?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's not really a lot of sitting around and thinking about it. My weeks are pretty busy. I've definitely had a lot of things to try to fit into yesterday and today. So a lot of running around and errands to run and stuff like that. So, it would be obviously in a perfect world, you have a little more time to spread that stuff out, but I'm excited to kind of keep the momentum that we have and to carry that over into Martinsville. So if the short turnaround time helps that, then that's good.
Our next question will come from Greg Engel. Go ahead with the question, Greg.
Well, Woody Kane, who's a much better reporter than I'll ever be, asked the question that I wanted to ask. So let me do this. I know you probably haven't had a lot of time to think about it because obviously your focus is on finishing out the season. But next year, going into that 48, how much motivation is it to you, or do you how much motivating do you think it will be to try and get out from underneath that shadow, so to speak? You know, because Jimmy Johnson ran it for so long, and now you're going to be in it, and you want to make it your own. How's that a motivating factor?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think very similar to driving the 88 car, just taking over for Dale Jr. Obviously, you know, different circumstances. Dale was probably the most popular of all time, and then you have Jimmy, who's probably the greatest of all time. So, you know, to go from one to the other is definitely, you know, I want to make the 48 car my own, and I'm excited to work with Ally. They've been really cool and really open to kind of leaning on me to do whatever I want, kind of steer it my direction, which is really neat. And I'm excited to be able to be myself. And, you know, the biggest thing for me is, like, I'm not Jimmy Johnson. I wish I was Jimmy Johnson, but I'm not. I wish I was like 50% of Jimmy Johnson, but I'm not. So, you know, just trying to be myself and go out and perform. I just want to perform and win races. You know, that when it comes down to it, that's the top of the list for me is winning races and trying to add to the legacy of that car. It will forever, you know, have been made famous by Jimmy, but hopefully we can add to it a little bit.
And one quick follow-up: how do you like these one-day shows? Are these nice?
I love it. It is the best thing we've ever done. Obviously, a terrible set of circumstances, and we hate that there are less fans around, and you know, hate that everything has caused it. But I'm a big fan of the one-day shows. You know, the little bit of extra time at home is definitely nice, but being able to race as much as we did, as quickly as we did with the one-day shows as well, was really cool and kind of brought me back to growing up racing. You know, it was one-day shows everywhere, and you'd hot lap and heat race and then feature race. So the lack of practice and the one-day shows, I'm all for it.
And I think I'm pretty sure that with the one-day shows, you're going to miss going to T-Bone's Steakhouse next week. But have fun this weekend and have fun at Phoenix. So.
Thank you.
Well, Alex, thank you for taking the time to join us. Good luck this weekend in Martinsville.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Take care.